Hi! Welcome everyone! Hope you're all doing well on this most Friday of Fridays. Welcome, welcome! I am Spacey Bartoltelli. I'm a Gadgeteer Bat and a game developer. And we are doing game development stuff today with another Chrono Gear Dev stream. Good morning! Hello, Haidon, Slayers, Grey Stripe, Denigma, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but Gospel, Anne, Bandit, TV, Matt, the Octolings, Eps, welcome! Oh my goodness, let me take sipping real quick. Also, yes, we do now have an E mode. Sippy, sippy. Oh my goodness, yeah, I just got finished with lunch. So my throat is a bit scratchy from all the salty chips. Yeah, here we go again. So, since last time, we have made quite a bit of progress on the space world. The first level that I've been showing snippets of the past few dev streams is now complete, Galaxy Gourmet. The music is also complete, but I'm gonna refrain from that for now, because it's just so good, and I want the reveal of the track to be to coincide with our when we share gameplay footage of the stage outside of the stream. But oh my gosh, it's gonna be worth the wait. I've also made quite a bit of progress on this hub area, the Starship ID. I made a really cool cutscene that introduces one of the main antagonists in the space world, which I'm quite proud of. And I put some more work into the hub areas, like furnishing it and stuff. Like I added some more like furniture in Alfie and Kobo's bedrooms. And I think the engine room is still like this in my last stream, but I also polished up the door behavior a bit, along with like fixing up the camera hotspots, so that way you like don't see like half of one room and half of the other as you're walking into it. And of course over here we've got this this area here, which is the bridge, and this is where you access the stages. And Marine here is part of the cutscene that I was talking about. And of course, yeah, Galaxy Gourmet is now finished. One thing I did add, which I think adds a nice touch, is I added particle effects for some shooting stars in the background that come in periodically. It's such a simple effect, but I think it adds so much. And I also added like a glow sphere around the moon to make it feel more glowy. And you can see the texture up here that I used. It's just a simple like light dot. And I used additive blending. And I used kind of like a mustard yellow color, and it gives it this nice golden glow that makes it feel like it's like a light source. And you can kind of see like the planets, like you see how like there's like a crescent shape up here of a lighter color. That kind of adds to the effect of the moon emitting light, like since it's pointing towards the source of it. And of course I have finished the layout of the stage. I believe last time I worked on this, I had done everything up to this point where the cutscene plays, where Sana appears for the first time. And oh my goodness, I apologize. I need another sippy. Hope everyone's having a good day. Thank you, Denigma. Hope you are too. Alright, so I've been working with Eps on some additional gimmicks and enemies for this stage to kind of fill it out and make it more interesting. And probably my favorite of those are these rainbow bridges. So the way these work, Eps came up with this idea, and I was the one who drew the artwork for it, and basically like coded the behavior. So basically you hit the stars with an attack, and it spawns a bridge underneath them that kind of expands outwards. The bridge lasts for about 3 seconds, and then it starts to disappear from the left side. It's pretty cool. And it leads to some interesting situations where I can kind of like synergize it with other gimmicks, such as the strawberry shortcake springs. I increase the amount of height you get from these. And when you combine them, like for example, I could put a spring here and then I could put like one of the star bridges up here. So you'd have to jump on the spring and then time an attack to hit the star. I do that a little bit later in the stage too. Similar to those vines from that one game. Yeah. Pretty much exactly. Just like under like a different skin and a different feel to it. Also, there are bubbles in a lot of the stage. What I mean by that is, like, to start with, they're introduced through these straws, these drinking straws, and bubbles will appear out of them and kind of like flow upwards. And you can use them as springs, and they'll pop when you jump on them. In addition to that, I have Epps came up with an idea for like a bubble gunner, and I decided to give it like kind of like a space feel. But it's basically like a gumdrop dispenser, and it shoots gumdrops at you. And whenever the gumdrops hit something, or if you try to reflect them, they will turn into like gum-colored bubbles that you can then jump on. So that's pretty cool. One thing that I did note, like, I would have made them a more integral part of the platforming in this stage, but I feel like there's a chance that players might destroy them before they actually use their gum shots for like platforming. So I didn't want any situations where you absolutely have to use their gumdrops in order to progress. So they're usually combined with the bubble emitters. And of course, I recolored the meteor pebbles in order to make them more noticeable against the space background because they were a bit too dark before. Yeah. And yeah, I started getting really creative with the bubbles here, I think. Like, at this point, like, you've got, like, these two emitters here. They emit two bubbles, like, underneath the notes, and then it kind of, like, tests your platforming prowess. You kind of, like, jump across them and hop across. Yeah, we made the stage more bubbly. And this is exactly what I was talking about before. Like, this setup, where, like, we have the spring and we combine it with the Star Road. Also, you might remember the donut droppers from previous streams. I decided to cut those from the game because I feel like they took too long to do what they were supposed to do, and they were more like a hazard really than a gimmick that you could actually exploit. And I feel like it was very difficult to kind of like synergize them with the rest of the stage's gimmicks. So those have basically been replaced with these other gimmicks, and I think they mix together really well. So this is where the second checkpoint is. Yeah, okay. So here we kind of like combine, like, you have to like chain star bridges and kind of like, there's like a time pressure because they will disappear behind you. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh my goodness, why is my throat so dry? It's got to have been the potato chips that I ate. But I had a heckin' good egg salad sandwich, like on an everything bagel. It's so good. I personally like using soft-boiled eggs in my egg salad. I'll get a couple of eggs and I'll soft-boil them. And then I'll mix them in a bowl with a little bit of mayonnaise, mustard, paprika, salt, and pepper. It's so good, and like, it does take 10 minutes to boil the eggs, but it's worth the wait. What's an everything bagel? An everything bagel, true to its name, has almost every single seed that you would find on a pastry, like on a bagel. It's got like poppy seeds, it's got like rice seeds, I don't know seed names, but it's got like 5 different kinds of seeds on it. And they sell bagels in the US that have like individual types of seeds on them, but I just go with everything because like it's super healthy and it gives it a nice kick. Yeah, soft-boiled eggs. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Edge Drive. Yeah, let's go. So yeah, now I'm kind of like, at this point in the stage, I introduce another enemy type, which is the Crescent Rider. This is based on a little guy, like a little squid bunny thing that that is attached to Sana's earrings. well, her hair pieces on her official design. So I kind of based it on that, but it's a more shadowy variant. But basically, do you remember Spark Mandrill stage in Mega Man X1? Like those flying robots that kind of like zoom past in a beam of light? Basically, this is like that, but more generous with the timing. And they don't do a lot of damage if they hit you, but they will knock you backwards every time. So there's kind of like a risk in some sections where they could kind of like knock you backwards and cause you to fall into a pit. And for this stage, the bottomless pits act as a screen transition, so they will basically like warp you back to the previous Sauna Gate, the last Sauna Gate that you went into, without causing any damage to you. So it's kind of generous, but you do have to like do some platforming sections over if you mess up and fall. Okay, and there's a bunch of bubble hopping here, and then the Sauna Gate takes you pretty far. Let me see if I can find where it is. Okay, down here. So I start using more Crescent Riders here and like combining them with other gimmicks. And here is kind of like a chocolate asteroid field with pretzel trees. So you're kind of incentivized to explore this space and collect notes and eventually make your way up here to this part. And then this is kind of like leading up to the final area, like these star bridges here. And then this is the final area. It's this tiered birthday cake, kind of. And just like in the second mission of Carnival Railway, there are 5 treble coins to collect, and when you collect all of them around this area, then it will spawn the golden gear right on top of the cake. Like the little cherry on top. Yeah. So that's pretty much the stage. So let me give it a test run for y'all. Okay, let's go. Now, since there's no music in this stage, I'm just gonna keep the background music on. I have added this level to the stage select screen as well, so we can just go through here. And let me double check, make sure. Okay, okay. Nice. Also, audio check. Was it okay compared to the volume of my voice? I'll take Zippy. Oh, Mike, hello. Hope you're doing well. Audio all green, let's go. Alright, let me put on a bit more hype Mario Galaxy music. This is a classic. Okay. Volume's all good. Now, I showed off this first section in a previous stream. Oh, yeah, Edge, I made it so that it doesn't play so far. It just needs a few finishing touches first, but once we show it off for the first time, it's gonna be awesome. Oh, something that you might have seen there, like for a split second, if Crony is like knocked backwards by an attack and sent flying, she will only be in a helpless state for like 1 second, and then afterwards you'll be able to control her again. Because I noticed that was quite a problem with the Crescent Riders. And here's the star bridges. I love the sound effect for them too. It's really cool to kind of like compose a song that is basically just a sound effect. An effective technique for that. Like I'll play it again just so you hear it. Yeah, an effective technique if you want like a melodic sound effect is to basically just compose a sequence of notes and then make them all play really fast. And it sounds quite cool. And I made it specifically so that this sound effect is in the key of the actual background music of the stage. Yeah, this is Sauna's food level. And here's where you can kind of like experiment with the weighted planets in a safe environment. There's no bottomless pit to worry about or anything. And the springs too. So like this first section is just a nice little playground to get you used to the first few gimmicks. I'm gonna skip this cutscene real quick. Sauna! And here's the bubbles. Also, there's a point in the story where Iris regains her normal size. So you saw that there, and her healing is much stronger when that happens. And here's the gum dispensers, so you can kind of see if I hit them, they just kind of like get destroyed instead of being reflected. And when you destroy them, there's like a series of 3 bubbles that you can use too. Well, okay. And there's actually 2 routes you can take in this section. You can take the bottom route, or the top one. The top one's considered the main route, but you can kind of go underneath too if you want to. What? Yeah, Sana's big. She's literally the size of like I think like a sun. I can't remember her canonical size, but she's very big. Nice. And here you can kind of like play around with the gum bubbles. So that's nice. Oh, Gospel, that is not correct. She's not the size of the universe, but she's like close to the size of like the sun. I think she's a little bit bigger than it, maybe. Without her limiter. With her limiter, she can change her size at will. But like part of the plot line of the space world is that we're trying to find her limiter again after it was stolen. Yep, and those are the Crescent Riders, and they will knock you forward, or I mean backwards if you get hit by them. And let me see if I can get show you the tumble. See, so you see how I was tumbling there? So you can recover from that. You can act while you're tumbling like that. Okay. So this part. Also, if you stasis them, you can intercept them and destroy them, and then they won't, and then they'll stop like trying to hit you. Nice. Yeah, that is a good question. Why would anyone steal from Sana? I guess we'll have to find out later. Okay. I'm not sure why, but for some reason the Crescent Riders, their attack ignores whether we're crouching or not. I don't know why that's the case, because I do reduce the hitbox when we're crouching. So that's something I gotta look into at some point. Yep, I suppose that's true, Dark Moon. Where there's a treasure, there's a thief waiting to steal it. Okay, so this is the part where we collect all the treble coins. Okay, second treble coin. Nice. So there's 2 more. They're on either side here. I like to go for the bubble side first. You gotta be careful, because when you use Chronicopter, it'll destroy the bubbles. I'm not sure if I like that, if that feels comfortable. But it does make sense. And here we go! So beyond this point, there is background music. So I'm gonna pause. Well. And something else that I want to fix is that, like, I think it's because when you collect a treble coin, it already slows down the game. But that kind of overrides the slowdown from a golden gear appearing. So, like, time, like, runs normally during the golden gear sequence, which is a little disorienting, I think. So I'll have to figure out how to fix that. Yeah, that's Galaxy Gourmet. I'm so happy this stage is done. And you've seen this cutscene before in the previous stream. Now, what I'm gonna do is, eventually I'm gonna have it, because this cutscene overrides the result screen, which is no good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a cutscene where she warps onto an asteroid in this area, and then the result screen plays. And then she'll see the ship, like, flying in the background like this. And then Yatagrasu will kind of, like, teleport her there. Or at least, like, close to it. And I did modify this cutscene a little bit. We modified it a little bit because I feel like it introduces too many characters at the same time. So this updated version of the cutscene only has Iofi and Kobo in it. And then you meet the rest of the crew by walking around the ship. Yeah, so the implication there is that Yatagrasu, like, transported Crony outside the ship instead of inside of it. But yeah, the original version of this cutscene that I played in the last stream had all 5 members of the crew being introduced in one cutscene, and I think that was a little bit, like, overwhelming, since none of these characters have been encountered before, unlike the earlier council meeting, where we have already encountered some of them. So I think this is like a gentler introduction. You'll never get tired of Crony Girl failing? I know. Ultimate Girl Fail compilation. After the game's done, I want to make like a meme video that is just like Chrono Gear Warden of Time, but only when Crony is falling and screaming. She falls with style. Oh, Lancelot says, introducing all 5 crew members in a single scene. Us Transformers fans call that an intro dump. Oh, okay, so it's a common thing in Transformers. Now that you mention it, I do remember those from that kind of thing from the first Michael Bay movie. Alright, so I feel like the layout of the ship is pretty much complete now. Like, you can go out on the hatch, on top of the ship through the hatch, and like before, you can just like stand here and your Crony's eyelid animation is replaced with her waving at Sana. But I think eventually I'd like players to have a conversation with her out here, where like, all you'd have to do is like stand like over here, and then it would play like, it would show the same like dialogue prompt that it does for NPCs. And Kobo and Iofi's room, you can sit on the beds now. I like that. Kobo does not have dialogue for this part yet, or an eyelid animation, but she will have dialogue after a certain point. But yeah, here's some like painting stuff for Iofi, and then Kobo has like her little like planet thing from her 3D showcase, and also. You can hit it. I love doing tiny little interactable details like that in hub areas. Squeaky, yeah. And here is Ina's room. Now, I feel like I'd want like a short cutscene to play as soon as you enter the room that kind of like formally introduces her. But after that introduction, you can talk to her again. Wah. Whack a planet. Yeah. And I still really like that animation for the taco in the corner of the room. Alphalofi drew that. The animation. Well, I did the base sprite. I feel like we have really good synergy in that regard. Like, I'll make like a base sprite for certain characters or mascots, and then I'll pass it along to the rest of the team, and they'll bring it to life. It's really cool. It's a really cool like workflow. You can sit on her bed too, and unlike Kobo and Iofi, it is actually tidy. Yeah, taco is pronounced the same as taco, but taco is like a Japanese word for like octopus. And here's the power room. Much like Ina, there will be like a short introduction cutscene at some point as soon as you enter the room that formally introduces Kyla. But for now, we can just talk. Yeah, I feel isn't Dachi like Japanese for like fan or something? So like Takodachi means like octopus fan. I'm not 100% on that though. I want to learn more Japanese someday. I just have to figure out like a good like programmer or like tutoring system for it, because I've heard that the most popular like language source, Duolingo, does not do a very good job. And you can interact with the power cell here. Oh, right. Gospel, that makes sense. So Tomodachi, like it could be a pun on Takodachi. Alright, so also I added schematics of the ship in the background. I think this will be very useful for if anyone wants to like actually draw the ship. So they'll know what it looks like from the top. Because we only ever see it from the side otherwise. And here's a bridge with Space Commander IO-15. I still really like the terminal with the star map. Yeah, Star Trek style schematics. Oh my gosh, I watched so much Star Trek when I was a kid, so I really had to like harken to that style of like ship design, both in the exterior and the interior. A fun fact: the shape of the Starship ID was kind of inspired by the USS Kevin. Is it Kevin or Kelvin? But kind of like that kind of like overall shape. But obviously, I made it a bit more round. To resemble like a paint easel. Was it the USS Frank? Oh, right, just see yourself out. Yeah, it is the Kelvin, okay. Yeah, specifically the one from the 2009 movie, which honestly, I really like that movie. Like I know people have made a lot of jokes about like the overuse of bloom effects and stuff, but it's just so fun. Also, yeah, you can sit in the captain's chair. I also made an adjustment to the script that handles sittable chairs, to where now if you're facing the wrong direction and you're like off center from the chair, it will snap you to where you need to be. I noticed that was a problem in the Sanctum hub, so I made a script for it to kind of like fix that. And it's adjustable too. Like the beds do not have that limitation. So like I think eventually I'll make it so that the next cutscene triggers when you interact with the terminal, but for now it just activates when you just like pass through it. I like how she's like, who is it this time? Because she thinks it's another person like landing on the ship like Crony did. Oh, shield pirates, yeah. Point. I like that part. Oh, you see what that is? Yeah, and she has kind of a dream that's kind of spoilery, so I'll just skip that for now. Oh, Deepurge! Thank you for the raid! Thank you. She has such misfortune in these situations. E. Sana! Ah! She's so pure in this game. So innocent. Yeah. So now the context for Crony being able to travel around now is that like Sana just gives her a ride instead of the Starship ID. And after this cutscene, there is new dialogue for all of the NPC characters. I think I might need to add something akin to what is in Freedom Planet 2 with their NPCs, where like a light bulb appears above a character if they have dialogue that you haven't read yet. I think they'll be useful. I love the writing in this so much. Trip and Excess did such a good job. Like having everyone be in character based on like their VTuber personas. Dark Red, thank you for the care combo. Alright, I'll take Sippy. I don't know why, there's a glitch where Sana just kind of pops into place after you talk to an NPC. Okay, I've taken Sippy. I will take Stretchy now. Yeah, like the I like how the dialogue kind of like implies that like the crew has been on some wild adventures outside of the main story. That just kind of like reinforces the vibe that we're going for, that Crony has just like stumbled into somebody else's adventure and she's just passing through while she goes on her own adventure. Yeah, I like that we can wave at her. Okay, Kobo now actually has dialogue. Finding the One Piece. Yeah. Yeah, Sana just wants to be seen whenever you talk to people. Also, oh yeah, Alfie, that's true. It's a very Trekkie thing, considering how wild the adventures get if you miss an episode. Yeah, you can see in this room that since Marine took the power cell, the engine is like off. I don't know if I want to change the background or not to where we're not moving. Like the implication is that we're on impulse now, like we can't go to warp speed. So I think it still works. I just hope that it's not like confusing to people. Yeah. We can talk to Zeta now. But I think she'd have a formal introduction at some point too. Yeah, I did think about the possibility of like Kyla giving Crony weapon upgrades, but for one thing, that will add like some overhead to the gameplay that I don't know if we have time for. In terms of like adding an upgrade system is like something that needs very careful consideration. But yeah, if she does have like weapon upgrades, Kyla would be the person to do them. The other thing too is that I do feel like canonically, like her swords are like perfect the way they are. It's just like she said, like they're an extension of her. Not even ludicrous speed. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. So yeah, that is the hub. It's pretty much all set, really. I can't remember if there's any other cutscenes after this point when we make a certain amount of progress. I think so. But, yes. Awesome. They need the power cell to go into play. Yeah. Alright, so, I have also made progress. Let me take a sip real quick. Thank you. Thank you. Very proud of the work that everybody's been doing. Like Edge Drive with like the tile sets and apps with the concepts for enemies and gimmicks. I feel like we've got like a good workflow going that like it should be pretty possible to like complete World of Space in roughly the same amount of time as we completed World of Time. At some point, I also do want to go back to the first Belltown mission and revamp that. Now that we actually know what kind of game this is going to be. I think we'd have a better grasp of how to handle its gimmicks. But I have made some progress on the second space level, which of course is Marine's ship, which is the starship Aquamarine. It's named that because Marine and Aqua are on board. Okay, so that level, I tried to the tile set for this again. I did something pretty cool that I kind of like. I have a soft spot for this sort of technique, but basically, what I did for when I was blocking out this stage, this is pretty much all I have so far, this first part here, but I've been blocking out more of it. What I did, I took the pixel art of the ship, and I scaled it up 32 times, which 32 is the size of an individual tile in the game. So I blew up 32 sides so that literally each pixel of the ship is a tile. And you can see it lines up perfectly. And you can see I kind of like started blocking stuff in that way. I might spend more of the stream like doing that, blocking in more stuff that the player would see. I think that's really cool. I think that'll be a nice Easter egg if people actually zoom out and see the level map. They'll see that it like matches up exactly to what the ship is supposed to be shaped like. Dark Moon, thank you for the care combo. Okay, I'll take another sippy and stretchy. Oh, Gospel, like what Tyson Tan did in Freedom Planet 2 bosses? Kind of. I did the same technique with airship Seguada. Like the actual Seguada ship, like if you zoom out, it actually matches like the whale shape. So I'm doing the same thing here. And anybody who knows me knows that I have like a soft spot for like airship stages and like battleships, and like they're just so fun to make. They're just like packed full of action. All right, let me take a sippy. I also really like making space levels, but I feel like my opportunity to make space levels in my past projects has been very limited. But now that we're here in the world of space, it's been like very refreshing. I haven't made space levels of this scale since I was a little kid, just starting to learn game design. All right, let me stretch now. I also feel like it's getting a little bit warm in my office, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cool off a little bit. I'm actually wearing layers, so I'll just take the top layer off. Okay. There we go. Nice. Okay. Hope you have a great rest of the stream. Thank you, Lashrus. Thank you. Wait, they're porting Tomb Raider to the 32X? That's very impressive. That's not all. It's so awesome. But yeah, that is my technique for blocking out like the exterior sections of the ship. I feel like, because of the way that Godot kind of like handles rendering tiles, I'm a little bit concerned that if I accurately block out the entire ship, it will cause lag. I'll try it first and see if it causes lag, but if it does, then I'm fine with just drawing only like the top sections that the player actually like walks across. So basically, I need to figure out a way for the player to not be able to get to the top of the ship early, because that's where the boss is. So like the path that you take through the stage, I'm thinking, is that you go like across this horizontal area, and then there'll be like a door like right here, and that leads you into the interior of the ship. And then you spend a good chunk of the level inside the ship, fighting off bad guys and stuff, and then that will lead you somewhere up here, and then you can kind of like hop up here and then fight the boss. But like, it might not actually be a problem if players can get up here early, because I kind of want to structure this in like a mission sort of way. Like your first mission, you're not even on the ship when the stage starts eventually. Like eventually I'll have like a piece of terrain that's on like an asteroid or something, and the ship will be in the background, trying to shoot you with the cannons. You have to use Crony's sword to reflect the giant cannonballs back at the ship. And then it's pretty easy. Like once you do that, it's basically like a check to make sure that the player knows how to reflect projectiles. But there's these. I have it envisioned in my head. I think it'll be really funny if I can figure out how to pull it off. But these huge, absolutely massive cannonballs coming in from the background, and Crony just reflects them with their sword, and then you reflect them back enough times, and the ship's shields are disabled. And then after that, you'll be able to like Sana will spawn a gate for you, and then you'll teleport to this first section right here. Raiders! Welcome, Raiders! Thank you. Welcome. I'm Spacey Bartotelli. I'm a Gadgeteer Bat and a game developer. I am currently producing a hololive fan game called Chrono Gear Warden of Time, and today is my weekly dev stream for that game. Howligans, howling at ya! Awesome! Thank you so much, Clara. Clara Dogford. I'll have to check you out sometime. What were you playing on the stream? And thank you for the follows, Wiggles, Anasi, and All Hail Sunset Youth. Yeah, nice. But yeah, right now I'm just like, I just showed off the first space level, which is complete, along with the Starship Hub. I'm currently showing off what I've made so far of the second level. I was just explaining like a technique that I'm using for this stage in order to block it out, where like I took the sprite, like the background sprite of the ship, and I increased the size 32 times, which 32 pixels is the size of the tiles in this game. So literally every pixel of the ship is a tile, and I've been blocking it out. And like I just got this first section to start with. Dog developer, hi. You've been lurking? Awesome! Thank you for lurking. You were playing an NES Kirby game? Oh, was it Kirby's Adventure? I haven't played that one yet. I've played the original Game Boy Kirby. I've also played Dreamland 3. I played both of those when I was a kid. And then just recently, I decided I wanted to start playing more Kirby games, so I played through Kirby Superstar. It was quite nice. You can tell it's kind of rough around the edges. It's a bit experimental in what it does. And like that just makes me like appreciate like the way that they expanded on the concepts that were introduced in Superstars, like in Dreamland 3 and beyond. Yeah, it was Kirby's Adventure. Nice. You played the 3DS port? Oh, there's a 3DS port? You're so used to hearing this song at the end of Gamma Chris's stream. You're like, oh, we're ending already? No, we're not ending. But yeah, I also need to come up with some more gimmicks and enemy types for this stage. I have a few ideas, and maybe we can try to work on them later on in the stream. But something else that in this stage that I'm quite proud of so far is the background. Yeah, I made like a ringed planet that's like a water world, and like you'll see when I test it out, the hurricane actually moves. It's so cool. Like, I've been going hard on the backgrounds in the space levels. Thank you, Slayer. Okay, so I'm gonna go and test the level. Wow. Oh, it's a part of the 3DS classics, the ones with the 3D space, the 3D effect. It's awesome. So yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, this I actually got some help with Edge Drive on figuring out what I wanted the color palette of the background to be. So kudos to Edge Drive for that. But like you can see, like the subtle, like the hurricane subtly moves. That's so cool. That's one instance where I feel like I didn't want to stick strictly to pixel art for it because it just kind of looked a little bit too rough. But yeah, that's all I have of this stage so far. But I also still really like the keg cannons. I worked on those a few, like 6 or 7 dev streams ago. Like, they'll shoot the lasers, they'll also throw bombs, and then if you destroy them, they'll abandon ship. You carried that aesthetic, Spacey? You just figured out the palette? Thank you so much, Edge. But yeah, I love this background, oh my gosh. Like, I think this is my favorite background now, even better than Jewel Cyclones. Alright, so that's that. And I was thinking that, like, in terms of enemy types, I'd want, like, a stompy mech, kind of. Like a walker robot that could be piloted by more Hosho pirates. And I would also like a swarmer type enemy, like an enemy that is very easy to defeat, but they can be put down in huge numbers, so to kind of like really add to the actiony feel. You wonder if Pekora will appear? Funny you should say that. We do have a sprite of Pekora, but she is going to appear in the world of nature. But the reason that there are no Sagi, like, as part of the pirate crew, is because Marine does not have a mascot. So we kind of had to come up with a solution for that. Like, her like, de facto mascot, I suppose, is just like a regular buff, like, pirate dude. But I don't know if that would clash with, like, the style of the game. I'm not sure how I feel about having enemies that are, like, literally just humans. So I'd have to think about it. But I want the pirate crew to be composed of multiple different mascots, so that people don't, like, get the wrong impression that Pekora might be here. Another idea I had is, I believe Kyla has a penguin mascot that she doesn't really use, because she doesn't like to be associated with penguins. But maybe I could draw that. That could be a good idea. And then I could make the penguin be like the pilot of the walker mech. And I also feel like maybe I need like a turret that can be mounted to the wall, to the terrain. Like, if you can just kind of imagine like a circular turret like right here, and it kind of like turns and like tries to shoot at you. It'd have to be done in a way to where it's far enough, it's close enough to the edge that you could still attack it. Oh, Athlofi, Oh, well, since you're here, I will go ahead and start importing the sprites animations that you worked on, for Snail, who is Fauna's cat. So I don't believe I have a scene yet for Snail. So I will go ahead and make one. I'll use the Sonolite as a base, because the Sonolite is another petable NPC, and Snail will be a petable NPC as well. Yeah, Snail is the name of her cat. He's a void cat. I love void cats. Okay, so NPC Snail. And we need a new set of sprite frames, so I'm gonna create new sprite frame. Whoops, I misspelled that. So we're gonna go ahead and add the frames from a sprite sheet. I don't believe that the prompt is appearing on screen, but it shows like a file selection screen within Godot. So I'm gonna go ahead. There's a lot of frames here. I believe it's because some of them are duplicates. So I think what I'll do first is I'll go to my drawing program. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. I gotcha. There we go. So this is the base sprite that I sent to Alpha Lofi to animate. Snail. Oh, unstable. Hi. Hope you're doing well. Been trying to wake up? It's all good. We all wake up at our own pace. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna import a sprite sheet. Can I import a sprite sheet in a new file? I think this will do it. Okay, so here's the sheet. So I believe there's duplicate frames, so I'm gonna take some time to trim those out just to make this sprite sheet a bit neater. I don't mind receiving the sprite sheets with duplicate frames because it's a pretty simple process to do this. So we import it here. Yeah. Blinky. Okay, I think that's the first frame. Actually, no. Oh, yeah. Blicky. Okay, there's a bit of discrepancy. There's a bit of a difference. But the tail here is the same. Okay. I think those are all of the unique frames. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight these 16 frames, and then I'm gonna set them as a loop section, so that way we can see just these frames looping, which is the idle animation. Almost. Okay, I missed a few. So I'm gonna undo that. It's a 20 frame animation. Okay. Almost. No, it's okay. You're good. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this part at the normal height. Whoops. Oh, okay. What's going on? Oh, I see. I missed the one. Okay, that works. And so now the licking animation. Okay, that does loop nicely. I think that's it. So I'm gonna save this as an sprite file. And I'm gonna export it as a sprite sheet. So, what's the width? The width is 80, okay. So let's go with 640. Okay, that works. Yeah, Gravity Circuit has such good music, oh my gosh. Could I use this to make Twitch emotes? Oh, I could use Sprite to make Twitch emotes if I wanted to. Okay, so that one is set, and now we are going to import two more animations, the walking animation and a petting animation. Actually, I think those are fine. I don't think those loop. I mean, I think those don't have duplicates, I should say. So, let us go back to Godot. And now, I can import from the sprite sheet. Oh gosh, hold on a second. I need to reload this scene because sometimes the sprite sheet importer like uses the old dimensions of the image rather than an updated one. Alright, so Now, I'm gonna select all these. Actually, no. I'm gonna select the first 20. And then I'm gonna loop those once. I wonder if there's a way to copy and paste multiple sprite frames. I'll just do it one at a time. Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay. And now I'm gonna import the rest. Okay, where does this start? Frame 21. Okay. So now we should be able to loop this. Yeah! Kitty cat. Snail. I like it. Okay, now we do the walking animation, which is much simpler. I do notice that it's facing the wrong way though, so I'm gonna have to flip that horizontally. Also, I'm getting a DM. Okay. Okay. I see. Okay, okay. Oh shoot, I forgot about something with Free Implant 2, but I'll deal with it after stream. So back to a sprite. I'm gonna import the sprite sheet for walking. And as you can see, looks great, but it's the sprites are facing left rather than right, and we want that to be consistent. Yes, Dark Red. In addition to this project, I am also working on alongside our publisher on the console ports of Free Implant 2, and like every so often they need material from us that we have to prepare. So I'm basically like working on 2 projects at the same time. So, but come April, Free Implant 2 will be wrapped up, and then it won't be a problem anymore. And I feel like my role in the console ports will be over with before then. Okay, so this looks nice. Only 8 frames. So what we want to do is we want to flip the entire canvas horizontal, and that's it. Let me make sure, because we're centered right here. Okay, that works. Nice. April's your birthday month? Let's go! A code material? Like... It's hard to describe without feeling like I'm revealing too much about their inner workings. But, like, you know, like marketing assets or like, change logs of bugs that we have fixed in like releases of the PC version, that sort of thing. Because we want to make sure that like the console versions are patched to the latest version, and there's like a whole process to making sure that that's the case. So here, I think I can have this to 320. Okay. Let's go back to Godot. Come on. Okay. So, once again, we want to reload this scene since we changed the dimensions. Okay. Why is... I gave it the wrong name. Let's see. Okay, it should be good now. There we go. And let's bump up the speed of this. Yeah! He walk! Make it a little bit slower. There we go. Yeah, this is a good animation. Oh, Archangel, thank you so much. Yeah, this is what I look like without my coat on. I feel like I had to shed a layer because it's getting a little bit warm in my office. Okay. So one more animation, which is the petting animation. Now, let me double check on the Sonolite and make sure what name it is. Okay, it is pet. So run, fall, dash. Okay. Okay, this is not named walk. It has to be named run because of the way that the script works. Also, let me add a dummy animation for falling. It's not necessary, but it just prevents errors. Okay. So now the pet. The pets. Oh, that is also facing left. Okay. Back to the drawing board. So I'm gonna save this as an Sprite file as well, just so I have it. And now we are gonna import another sprite sheet. The pets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'd love to have a space level that kind of like has music like this. It's just like very calm and atmospheric, like more of a puzzle type level. Does the cat run and hide when you approach it, or it'll let you pet? It'll let you pet. Binks 100 Binks 100. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Hi. Alright, let me take sippy. Good stuff. So, same thing. We are going to flip the entire canvas. And it looks kind of weird, but you'll see how it looks when we actually like pet the cat in game. Okay. So from here, export as sprite sheet. I think it was 480. Okay, yeah. Let me make sure that it's the correct name. Okay. Okay, and I'll make sure to save this as an Sprite file. Let's go. Okay. So now it should be set. I'll import. And we should be able to loop this. Okay, it is set to loop automatically. Ah, nice. I think I want to slow it down a little bit. And then I'll loop the part where the eyes are closed and he's just like moving his head back and forth. What frame is that? Start on. Frame 4. Frame 4 to 8, I think. Yeah, okay. That's the loop point. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So then we move, I'll just delete these other frames for now. And then I will add them at the end. Okay. Okay, that looks quite nice. Oh, Nelly will let you pet her until she's had enough and then she swats. Oh, yeah, I had a cat that was like that too. Yeah. Alright, so we've got all of Snail's animations. And she doesn't have a dialogue portrait yet, but that's fine. I have a placeholder that is like a blank one. Her name is Snail. Okay, we got the options there from the Sonlight. I'll just say, yeah. Okay, 0, 0. Do I have a cat sound in the game files? Let me double check. We don't have a meow? Oh, here we go. Dialogue cat. Ah, whatever. It'll work. Meow. So sound delay, I'll just set that to 9. I think that's everything we need. I think Snail is pettable now. So I'm gonna go over to the garden hub. And then I'll just put her somewhere. Well, him. Snail. It's gotta be somewhere that doesn't have NPCs already, just so I don't accidentally talk to them instead. Yeah, this will probably be fine. And then I have to make sure that the patrol range is not super high. Okay. You wonder if you're a cat person? You really like cats and they seem to like you in general? Yeah, I feel like you can be a cat person and a dog person at the same time. And you don't necessarily have to have that type of pet to be a fan of it. Like, I like both dogs and cats, but I just happen to only have dogs right now. Like, I feel like that's especially the case if you kind of are prone to, like, allergies around certain pets, but you still just like the animal. You just can't, like, own one because, like, of the potential for allergies. Oh. What's going on? Why are you in the ground? No. I think that the collision box is a bit off. Oh, yes, that's the problem. So I'm gonna push the sprite up above the ground, and that should do the trick. Also, I noticed that there's, I need a chat pose. Because the cat turned invisible when we talked to it. So, just the single sprite of its idle animation is what I usually go for. Semi-solid platform. Semi-solid platform. Yeah, the cat's digging it. Okay, let's try that again. Well... Okay, there we go. Snail moves around. Come on, here, kitty. Here, kitty. Come on. Thank you. No, 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 you're too fast. I don't want Snail to be in front of the gazebo because we're behind the gazebo. Let me slow you down a little bit. Move speed, let's have that. Some cats just have the zoomies. Yeah. Okay, I'll put Snail right here just so we can catch her as soon as possible. I mean him. I keep saying her because I had a void cat too growing up. And her name was Minion, and I named her Minion way before the Minions movie was ever a thing. But yeah, she lives to 21 years old. So she had a good long life. Okay, there we go. Let's go! We're petting the cat! You can now officially pet the cat in Chrono Gear Warden of Time. Yay! Now, Crony's hand is a bit, high up. But that's fine. I suppose I could make an alternate petting animation just for smaller creatures. Wow. Awesome! I feel like these are the only two, like Snail and Taima are the only two pettable NPCs that we have planned. But I still think it's much appreciated. Ah, thank you, Aqualofi, and thank you for your animation work as well. Ah! Pet the cat! Ah! Let's go! Awesome! I'm so happy about this. Alright, let me take Sippy. So, I do want to, put like a little, like cottage in this hub somewhere. And that way Snail can be in the cottage. Warning you, the next tester build footage will be 8 hours of this. Oh, I can see it already. Oh, sweet! Edge Drive just posted in the dev server the next iteration of the interior of the Starship Aquamarine. Oh, it looks so good. I like the colors. Oh, I like the posters too. Oh my goodness. Cool. So there's a few ideas that I have of things we can do next. I could start drawing the cottage. I could also work more on the Starship Aquamarine in terms of blocking it out. Since the theme of this stream is like centered around space, I think I will do the latter. Okay, so... Wait, one thing I could do, actually. I did mention that I want an intermediary cutscene between the end of Galaxy Gourmet and the start of the Starship ID hub. Specifically so that the results screen has a chance to play. I'll do that for now. I'll do it just for the result screen, but eventually I'll make a cutscene that actually like explains like Crony being teleported outside the ship. Okay, so I'll hide Sana for this cutscene because I don't want her to enter until after Crony has boarded the ship. So something very weird happens with Godot and tile maps, where if I try to copy a tile map and then paste it in a different scene, the scene where it came from will end up having an empty tile set. And only the scene where you paste it in will have it. So I feel like for some reason Godot only allows a tile map to exist in one scene at a time. So to play it safe, it's weird because sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes I can duplicate it, and other times I can't. Yeah, I feel like the issue has been reported, but it's been designated as not a bug because of the way that it handles tile map configurations. I don't know. It doesn't. I feel like the manual could do a better job of explaining why that is. But I wish it wasn't like that. Maybe in a future version they'll figure out a way to kind of like make that not an issue. But for now, what we need to do is we need to create a new tile map. And it's fine because we're not supposed to like be able to move around in this cutscene. It's purely for show. So I'm gonna make a tile set. What is rendering quadrants? A quadrant is a group of tiles to be drawn together on a single canvas item for optimization purposes. Oh! So if I have lag, could I increase or reduce the size of that? I'll have to experiment with that if we ever end up having like lag spikes again. Yeah, 4.0 did change a bunch in terms of tile mapping. I'm gonna go over to another level and just double check to see what I've got going on there. Like the level specifically where it was lagging for us was Jewel Cyclone, so I'm gonna check the tile maps here. Because what we eventually did to kind of like work around it is we split the whole stage into two separate tile maps. So it looks like okay. Yeah, I feel like the quadrant size is reasonable, so I feel like this did not solve our issue. Yeah, I don't think it would have solved it. Okay, I still really love this stage, by the way. But we're not focusing on that. So I'm just gonna make a new tile set, and then I'm just gonna add like a basic physics layer to it. And what I will do is I will bring in Galaxy Gourmet's tile atlas. But I will not automatically create a tile for everything. I'm just only going to use the chocolate terrain. Nice. Alright, sweet. And then I'm gonna set all this up. It's gonna use the default tile shape except for the slopes. And we will adjust that to look slopey. So slopey. Yeah, Edgestrive did a very good job making this tile set look appetizing. Every time that I work on it, I feel like I need to get a snack. I don't want a snack now. I said this during my last stream yesterday, but like, Mama Spacey made some really good avalanche cookies the other day. And the cool thing about avalanche cookies is that they're no bake. You don't need to bake them. All you have to do is just mash the ingredients together and then chill them for a little bit, and you got cookies. And she kind of explained to me the ingredients the other day. So the ingredients that she uses for her avalanche cookies are, okay, so it was marshmallow, peanut butter, Rice Krispies, vanilla treat, like they look like chocolate chunks, but they're vanilla, like pure vanilla. And then, because I thought it was vanilla extract, but no, it's that. And then she kind of like melts the vanilla, and that's what causes all the ingredients to be able to stick together. And yeah, you just let it cool for a certain amount of time, and then you got no-bake cookies. You're thinking of doing a no-bake cheesecake sometime in the next couple of days? Let's go! That sounds delicious. So I've got everything here. So let me kind of make like sloped terrain and make it feel kind of as round as I can. There we go. Oh, Dog Velma made no-bake pudding for Christmas. Let's go. I like dark chocolate pudding quite a lot. Okay, that's good. Wait, no, that's... Okay, here we go. I want to do like a checkerboard pattern with these two specific rock tiles. That way there's some nice variety going on. Not supposed to eat sweets anymore? Yeah, that's understandable. Some people need to kind of like limit what they consume. And I feel like I feel like I need to do that as well, at least in terms of like specific things such as carbonated beverages. I have not drank any soda pop for many years because it just upsets my stomach too much. The only time I feel like I only did it like 2 or 3 times in the past like 8 years, and it was specifically to kind of like clear out my system. Oh, you recently had a sweet soda that came with your pizza? You don't know how much sugar was in it, but it must have been a lot. It made you super sleepy. Yeah. I'm also sensitive to caffeine. Not in the sense that it gets me wired, but it kind of like really upsets my stomach for some reason. So I don't even get any of the benefits of caffeine when I try to drink it. But other than that, I feel like I'm pretty lucky in terms of the stuff that I'm able to eat. But like I've generally been eating pretty healthy to the point where like stuff that I used to enjoy as a kid is just not like appetizing anymore. Mighty decided to hop by and say hi. Oh, hello. You started to overdrink coffee instead. Have I tried cold brew coffee? The way it's made is supposed to result in the coffee being less acidic. I should give that a shot, actually. I didn't know that they had a different, like, method for making it compared to normal coffee. I thought it was just, like, they made the coffee and then they cooled it down. Tea with milk. Oh, it's good. I really enjoy tea. Like, my favorite kind of tea is, like, sweet tea. I'll often put drops of honey in whatever tea that I brew. It adds so much to it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so... from here, I feel like I could add a couple of donuts to this too, just for decoration. Donut. Okay, let's go quick load. There we go. let's put you here. T-Lopes did such a great job on the Sonic Superstars tracks that he worked on. Okay, I'll put this here. I think that should be good. Alright, and... Oh my goodness! Ah, my apologies. Thank you. Salud! +1 height. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you find them cute. Alright, so just so I have a frame of reference, I'm gonna go to a similar cutscene I have at the end of the intro stage. So I'm gonna grab the start location here and make a note of the values. I'll also make a note of the values in this cutscene. Okay, so what happens here, it does not play immediately. It waits until the result screen is done. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, fade, fast fade. Okay, I think I got it. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and move the tiles over. Okay, there we go. So I've got this set up, and I'm gonna change the cutscene music to... There we go. Oh, thank you for head pats and hydrate. I'll take sippy. Come on. Oh, that's okay. I'll do stretchy anyway. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Dark Moon. Currently in a stretch in progress. There you go. So now... how do I debug Golden Gear? Okay, I think debug gear ID. I'm gonna double check the intro stage again. Okay. I'll just wing it. Okay, so if the test is successful, when I enable debug mode, it should automatically put me into like a dummy result screen. Let's go! Alright. Nice. Awesome. I don't know why that can go into a negative. I'll have to check into that. That should not be possible. Okay, menu result screen. Okay, percent notes, it's the time tally. Cause I got it clamped. I don't know why it's like going with a different value. Is it this? No, it should. It should. -50. Okay, I gotta fail safe. So T equals clamp. T 0. Oh wait, no. Let's do max. Okay. So now it should not fall under 0. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, another sippy while I wait for it to load. Okay, there we go. Nice. I feel like it's pretty good. I could push the camera up a little bit, just so you get a better view of space. So for when the spaceship flies in. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, something like that. Donuts! Yeah! Hello, Jorubran. Hi! It's a chocolate asteroid with donuts. Background looks cool, thank you. So from here, I want to play a short cutscene that kind of like takes Crony to the Starship ID. I feel like I'd want... Okay, yeah, I have a cutscene template that I use. So I'll just put this here. I'll choose make local so we can just kind of like erase the placeholder NPCs. There we go. And okay, now let me close some of these windows. Okay. So, I'm gonna take some objects from this cutscene. Specifically the NPC version of Crony. So I'll just put her here. Make her face left to start with. Okay, and from here, I also want to put Yadagrasu in this cutscene to kind of explain where the Sonagate comes from. Yeah, Slayers. I think the lore with the cronies, the clock NPCs, is that they are souls that happen to be trapped inside clocks. Well, not trapped; they're put in there, and that's literally her mascots. So I guess they don't really need to eat. Okay, let's see. Do I have them under gimmicks? I do. Now I have a part of like the cutscene script that will allow me to call any function from any object. I think that'll come in handy here. So I'll add a function to Yadagrasu's script to induce the creation of the Sonagates. And that way we can do that without having to like specifically code an animation for it in the cutscene. So let me see how that's handled. Okay, I got this. Let's come up with a function name. I'll just call it activate. And then here we just set touch to true, and that should allow the sequence of events that creates the sauna gates in the cutscene. Okay, I'll just put them here for now. I'll put them under the actors. And then I will also create some warp gates. Are they in here? No, they're in, I think they're in common. Here we go. So I'll put this here, but it will be hidden at first. Let me think. Do I want him here? I think I want him a little bit higher. There we go. Da 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 da. Da ba 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 da. Then I'll just have a second dummy gate up here. Now, is there a way that I could also activate the animation for the warp gate during a cutscene without actually warping the player? I wonder. Now, one way I bet I could... Okay, is there an animation for entering? Because if so, then I could just play the animation. Okay, visual. There is. It's just for growing and shrinking, though. But that could still be useful. That could still be useful. I think I got an idea. Because this makes a call to a target player. Okay, I guess I could just duplicate this this state and just make like a cutscene state. Okay, state, cutscene. And then, okay, function, state, cutscene, end. Okay, that should be enough. Oh, right. I need to add a way of actually putting it in the cutscene state. Okay, so func cutscene mode. State equals state cutscene. And how do we enter the enter state to begin with? Like that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think that's everything we need to make this work. So now we're going to disable these for now. Delete, disable process mode. And then we'll add them to the list of objects that Yadagrasu activates when he goes away. Okay. Now, how far away do I want the ship to be? I feel like it needs to be a bit smaller, just so that during the next cutscene we can actually get a better view of it. So I'm gonna shrink you down. And from here, maybe darken the color a bit to make it like blend in more with the atmosphere in the background. Okay, yeah, that works. Also, these asteroids and speed lines should not be here because we're not on the ship right now. So what I'll do is, we don't need the asteroids. I wonder how I can make them static. I guess something I could try is to reduce the speed scale dramatically, so that they don't stop moving, they don't stop generating, but they are moving so slowly that they basically might as well not be moving at all. Maybe. Let me see, what happens if I set the speed scale straight to 0? I can do that, okay. And as long as we've got, like, because I've got it set to pre-process, what that will do is, it will just basically like automatically process like a certain number of particles, like ahead of time, like right at the start of the scene. That should work. And we also don't want any speed lines. Okay. Okay, this should be good. Yeah, we can make them move an infinitesimally small amount if we need to. So now we actually have to build the cutscene. I think this is the first cutscene I'm actually going to make on stream. And it's a good thing that it's going to be pretty simple. Okay, so there's this. Okay, that should be fine. So I'm gonna add a new. I have a notepad document of all the functions that a cutscene can do. Let me load that real quick so I have a reference. So the way I'm handling cutscenes in this game, let me take Sippy first. Okay, so the way I handle cutscenes is through dictionaries. And every entry in the base dictionary is a different cutscene event, like a list of actions that all happen on the same at the same moment. So you see, my first dictionary entry here has two parameters: camera target and length. And what this will do is that it will specify the object that the camera's going to point at. And in this case, I just have a 2D node that is just like a dummy for the camera, and I named it camera hotspot. And then length means that we are going to wait like a certain amount of time before moving on to the next event. In this case, it's 0.5 seconds. Does Chrono Gear have a synopsis? It does. It does have a basic plot synopsis on our itch page. Like, the basic, like, context of the game is that, space-time throughout the universe has been shattered, and the device that was being used to control it, known as the Chrono Gear, like, it's built from golden gears, and the shattering caused all of the gears to spread across the universe. So it's Crony's mission to find as many golden gears as possible and repair the space-time continuum. That's the basic gist of it. Okay, so yeah, that's the first event. So for the next event, I want to have Crony turn around and face the background. So I use string as the key. I use a string because that's easier to understand. Okay, and I'm gonna do animation player, and then node path is the value for this. So this event right here is going to specify, okay, so Crony's animation is the one that we want to change. And then I'll add a second one, which is animation name, which is the name of the animation we want to go to. I think it's chat back. Okay, so that's good. And here I don't think I want to set the length to anything above 0, because right afterwards I want the ship to start moving in the background. So I need to specify a distance that we're moving. Yeah, let's move at like... yeah, X position of like 800 or something. Okay, so this is a bit involved when I want to actually move things in the cutscene. So move node is the node we want to move, and we want to move the ship. And move offset is the specific position that we want to move it to. In this case, I believe it's 800 by 192, if I remember correctly. And then move start speed, which is the speed that it starts moving at, which I think 1 is enough. It's pretty far away. And then target speed, also 1. Oops. Oh, Joru asks, has Spacey Bat played any Ratchet & Clank games? I love Ratchet & Clank, oh my gosh. I've played quite a lot of the series. Like, I've played literally every Ratchet & Clank game up until Rift Apart. I didn't play Rift Apart, but that was my falling off point. So A Crack in Time was the last one that I played, and I beat it. I've beaten every Ratchet & Clank game, like, from A Crack in Time and all the way to the beginning. But I wanna like, pick up where I left off at some point. So I think I have to play Rift Apart, I have to play... Wait, no, Rift Apart was the most recent one. Right, Into the Nexus. I have not played Into the Nexus. That was my falling off point, sorry. So yeah, Into the Nexus and Rift Apart are the only ones I haven't played, I think. I think those were the only two after A Crack in Time, right? Oh wait, no, there's also All for One. I did not play that one either. But yeah, I love the Ratchet & Clank series. I want to start playing that too. Like, I have a particular soft spot for the original trilogy. Full Frontal Assault. I did not play that one either, actually, now that you mention it. Oh, right. I did play the movie tie-in game. Like, the remake of the very first Ratchet & Clank. It was alright. Like... Gosh, the only thing that bothers me about the remake, and it really bothers me, is that they got rid of the tension between Ratchet and Clank after Clark betrays them. Like, they don't have that falling out like they do in the original game, and I feel like that was a missed opportunity, like, to a very big degree, to the point where I feel like the movie suffered for it. Like, Clank just, like, doesn't really have anything to do otherwise. Because, like, all of the dramatic tension is between Ratchet and Clark instead of Ratchet and Clank. But that's, like, among other things. There was a really good like video review that was like 2 hours long that went over the problems with the remake. It was really good. He brought up a lot of points that I agree with. Let me see if I can find it. Ratchet and Clank remake. Okay, it's the one from the Gaming Brit show. It's called How Ratchet Lost Its Edge. I kind of agree. Like, I feel like there's been like a bit of like Disneyification of Ratchet and Clank. But like I kind of differ from his opinion in the sense that I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just that the team wants to take the series in a different direction than it started in. Like it started as like a very like cynical and with like tongue-in-cheek humor. And like there was a big focus on like anti-capitalism and like how much the galaxy, the universe is in disarray, despite all of the heroic things that you do. It had a certain edge to it, and I feel like at some point they wanted to go more in the direction of like an epic sci-fi space opera, which I think in isolation it's still really fun what they did. Like I started getting that feeling during the Ratchet and Clank Future series. And yeah, I quite enjoy those. It's just you have to put in your mind that the Ratchet in those games is like quite different from the Ratchet that was in the original trilogy. But yeah, I feel like I still wish that they had the falling out in the movie, because that was probably like the moment in the first game where I was like, okay, this is actually really good. Okay, so we got everything here that I think we need in order to move the ship. So I'm going to add a length property as well. And then like, I don't know, we can wait like 1.5 seconds. And then I would have like Yadagrasu like float in from the top maybe. Let's see. Well, do I want him to float in from the top, or do I want him to, kind of like poof into existence? He already kind of poofs out of existence, so maybe I should just have him fly in. Okay, what's the original position? Okay, 88-16. I'll make a note of that. Oh, Hideki actually said that, Joru? Let's go! I bet he's really happy about Sega's recent announcement that they're gonna make another Jet Set. But, like, it's so cool that he got to compose on Bomber Cyberpunk. I'm so glad that Bomber Cyberpunk exists. Okay, so... from here, we want Crony to turn around. So we'll go back here. I like to combine a few different poses for her, like that kind of like resemble her turning around slowly. So length. 0.2. And now from here, I'll just paste this 2 times, and what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna like flip the direction of her sprite. And I've made properties for that as well. Yeah, this music's such a bop. I have a hard time like focusing while it's on because it's so awesome. Okay, scale node. Can't get enough of you. And the U in this case is the song. Okay, yeah, we're scaling Crony. And we want to set the scale to 1, 1. Okay, the animation is she's gonna look up at him. And he's kind of like right here, I guess? Yeah. You gotta head off? Oh, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Mighty and Creeper. Bye. Okay, so let's... I think that's enough. Let me just wait. Okay, wait a little bit there, and then, now we are going to call a method within Yatagrasu to have him spawn the Sonic Gates. So, call node, and Yatagrasu. And then call method, and I believe the method name was just activate. And then from here, oh my goodness. Okay, Joru says if Spacey hasn't already given it a listen, wholeheartedly recommend the Mega Man Zero 2 remaster soundtrack. Oh yeah, that's so good. Oh my gosh. Allergies making me sneeze? It's probably dust. Which is kind of weird because I did dust my office recently. But maybe that's the problem actually, because like dusting tends to kick up a lot of dust around the air. Okay, so activate. Okay, what are we doing? Okay, length. Cool. Yeah, honestly, I think the cutscene could end here with Crony just like staring up at the Sonic Gate, and the implication is that she's like traveling there. I'm gonna try that first and see how it feels. And then we have a property here for changing the scene. Change scene is first when we want to preload a scene, but there is a very big risk if you preload a scene because it's actually an issue that I encountered when I was working on the cutscene sequence where Marine attacks the ship. Because in that scene, like after Crony gets knocked out, the game takes you to a new scene in a dream world, and the dream world takes you back to the starship scene. But that created a situation where both scenes were dependent on each other, and that corrupted both scenes. I lost all of my work on them. But the good thing is that I had saved like minutes before that happened. So I really like dodged the bullet there, but like I'm not going to use this property anymore. From now on, I'm going to use change scene safe. And what this will do is we type in a string here. We just type in the name of the scene that we want to go to. And then what the game will do is it won't preload the scene. It will just load it as soon as we call the function. And that makes it so that we can go to one scene and then from that scene go back to the scene that we just came from without any issues. Oh, they were remaking X7? Let's go! But they got canceled. Well, at least we have the X8 remake to tide us over until somebody else wants to take a shot at it. But I have not played the original X7 or X8, so I'll probably play those before I play any fan demakes. But that's pretty cool. That's like within the realm of possibility. Okay, I feel another sneeze coming on, so I'm gonna preemptively. Okay. I do apologize for the weird noises that I've been making this stream. But, you know, it happens. Sometimes the weather is not in our favor. Yeah, there's an X8 demake. It was actually showcased at this year's last year's Sonic Amateur Games Expo. But it is available for download, and it has 2D recreations of every every Maverick stage, I should say. Yeah, X8 demake. Let me see if I can find a URL address. Let's see. I've seen footage of it on YouTube. It looks extremely good. Okay, so here's the link that I found for its booth at the expo. The pixel art and the animation is just like gorgeous. They really like nailed the style while still kind of like going beyond the limitations of the Super Nintendo. Yeah, I've heard X8 is a mixed bag. Like it does a lot right. Like, and I feel like the reason that it's so highly regarded is because it's like the perfect palate cleanser after X7. But like I've noticed like some people who have reviewed X8 have like mentioned that even though it's a big step in the right direction, there are some moments that kind of like are a bit like Some really cool innovations that would have been great to see in future titles. Yeah. Yeah, X8 is also kind of a mixed bag in that regard. Like, the biggest problem with X8 is that it's not finished. But other than that, it is like, if anyone who enjoyed like the overall like gameplay of X4 and X5 like will have something to like in X6, I think. Like, I think like the best way I can describe X6 is if somebody made a ROM hack of Mega Man X5. Because that's what it feels like. Like with all the ups and downs that that sort of thing entails. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, the mixing and matching of armor stages. Yeah. Okay, so I got a really cool email from the developer of Tevi, which is a game that I've kind of been keeping my eye on already. But they sent me an email like, hey, do you want like a like a key to cover it. That's pretty cool. Like, I'm not a journalist, so like I'm honored. I'd be happy to try it out. Okay. Alright, so now what we want to do is I'm going to use the scene safe property. I'm going to go to hub starship after this. So if this is correct, like I should be able to enter debug mode and then it'll go to the results screen and then it'll play the cutscene we just made. And we should be good to go. Okay, what kind of fade is this? I think it should be fine. Do we want to stop the music for this? I don't think so. Well, I bet we could stop the music, but we just add a bit of ambiance to the track. No, let me not stop the music. What I'll do is I'll add like a fading effect, like near the end of the cutscene. So string music fade 0.25. Okay. This should work. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think when I play X6 on stream, I'll try it with the tweak patch. I've heard it's very good. Okay. I got the right idea, I just got the timing off. We need to wait longer for the ship to come into view. I'll move it over a little bit so it takes less time to get into view. And I think what I also could do is I'll move it so I guess so the ship starts moving before Chrono actually turns around. And then from here, I'll add a little bit of a delay, not by much. Right there. And Yadagrasu needs more time to float into view. So let's do like 1.5 seconds here. And here's where we call the function. We'll wait another second. Okay, that should be enough. Let's give it a shot. Wow. Okay, almost. I feel like he needs to move a little faster. Something else I could do is I could move the camera a little bit down. Camera hotspot. And then kind of tilted upwards as Yadagrasu is starting to come in, so the player can kind of get their eyes drawn to it. So what I'll do this. Wow. Hotspot 0 0 0. Okay. Then I'll make him move faster. And then wait like another like half second maybe. Okay. Take 3. Okay. Oops. Cool. Now I think the timing is still a little off. So I'll reduce the speed that the camera moves, and then I will wait like another second here. And I'll wait like... Okay. Yeah, right here, at this point, it's just like timing adjustments, but like the cutscene is basically there. And this is pretty much how I handle making cutscenes. And for the vast majority of cutscenes, they do have dialogue, in which case I will use the property, a parameter that is called dialogue_ID. And that just lets me like pick like a dialogue line to play. Yeah, what matters is that it works. Nice. I do notice that the music is not actually fading. Did I get that property name wrong? Oh wait, no. I forgot to actually press the add key value pair. So what we want to do is music fade. And give me a float. 0.25. Okay. Okay. And I guess the last thing that we need to do is we need to adjust like the script, because I have a method in the main game script called set target hub, and under certain story conditions it will force you into a specific cutscene after a stage is over. So yeah, different ending cutscenes based on the story progression. So for Golden Gear mission number 21, which is Galaxy Gourmet, if we have not made any progress in the World of Space story arc, we will instead take the player to that cutscene instead of the Starship ID. And I just gotta double check the name, make sure that I spell it correctly. Okay, so it's cutscene Galaxy ending. Alright, so after I will breeze through a Galaxy Gourmet one more time, and then if everything worked out the way that I hoped it would, it will take us to this scene before the space Starship ID hub. So I'm going to disable debug mode on this just to make sure that it's actually going to work. Wait, no, it's the start location. Nice. Alright, cool. Oh right, there's no music in this level anyway, so let me pick the wind garden again. Alright, I'm gonna speed run through this, and then at the end it should play. Speed. Oh, Slayer, thank you so much for the hydrate. I will take Sippy after we've confirmed that this works. Yeah, I did play the Mega Man X5 Improvement Project. That was a lot of fun. I think that addressed like my biggest criticisms with the base X5, wherein like the ending you get, even if you did everything correctly, it's still pure RNG, whether you succeed or fail. No! Oh, Joru, if that's a serious question, the lady in the background is Sana. S-A-N-A. She is the Speaker of Space. Well... She is a retired VTuber, but she's still in the history books as one of the greats within hololive. Ow. And your Oshi? Good choice. Yeah, there's quite a few Sonalites on our team. It's just been like an absolute joy to like see the team's reaction to this stage when it was finished. Oh yeah, that was my other criticism about X5. The fact that under most circumstances is actually you actually have a higher probability of getting the good ending if you fire the cannon right away before you even do anything. Like sure, getting the parts increases your odds, but also getting a game over reduces your odds. Which is just so weird, the fact that you can just skip, like, all of the game except for the finale. Yeah, X5 is weird. Let's go. Well, the reason that they went in that direction, is because of lack of budget. Because like X4, it did well, but it didn't, it just barely broke even. So because of that, Capcom reduced the budget for the next Mega Man X game. Which is kind of a shame because it was supposed to be the finale. I just wonder what it would have been like if they had the same like production value as X4. Yeah, X4 is so much fun. I think X4 is my favorite. Like, it's a tie between X4 and X2. Let's go! It works. So it takes you where you need to go. And I feel like the cutscene does enough to kind of like show you that the reason that Crony like falls into the ship is because Yadagrasu like transported her there. So I think it should be enough. Also, why is the music still not fading out? Oh, once again, I did not press the button to add a key or value pair. I wish it did that automatically. That's kind of a problem I have with the way that Godot handles dictionaries in the interface. Is that I'll spend time typing in the value for what I want, and then I'll forget to press add key value pair when I'm done, and then it doesn't implement the change. So please commit. Oh, sorry about this. Okay, so let's try that one more time. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Okay. So I feel like what I want to do now is I noticed that the trail from the Sonic Gate kind of like goes towards the moon, but I want it to go towards the ship instead. So I think, let's see, what could I do? I guess I could add like a placeholder node. So I'll just like add warp destination, And then I'll kind of move it over to the right a bit. Like right here. And then that should be enough. I'll look at the warp gate here. So the visual target will be this. You're glad X6 happened because you're pretty sure copy X and Mega Man Zero would have just actually been X, which you think is kind of lame. Yeah, that's an interesting point that I haven't heard get touched up on before. Like, honestly, yeah, I do really have, given X's character development throughout the series, I honestly would have a hard time believing that he could turn Maverick to such an extreme degree, whereas an imperfect copy of X could easily do so. So yeah, I do kind of like that direction. Like, I know not everybody does, but I'm kind of glad that Capcom like put their foot down on that sort of thing. So that way, like by the time that like the last time we see X is in Mega Man Zero 2, and at that point he's still a hero. He's still a hero. So it just like when his original body is destroyed, it just hits so much harder because like he's still the X we all know and love. Okay, let's see. So this should work at making the trail like point to the right instead of towards the moon. So that way the player doesn't get the wrong idea of where they're going to end up. Almost. Okay. Let's just move it a bit over. X and Zero canonically die at the same time in the Mega Man Zero series. Oh, I remember that. Don't remind me, I'm gonna cry again. I do want to play through the Zero series soon, though. Maybe if I've got nothing else going on the next few weeks. But I do have, next week is going to be booked for me already, because I have my 1-year anniversary as a VTuber on Monday. On Friday, I believe, I'm collabing with Ashley. That's going to be really fun. I can't wait for that. And I think I need a little bit of a break in between, so I'm not going to stream on Thursday, even though I usually do. Yeah, Gray Stripe, that, technically, yes, he did die in Zero 2, but it was just his original body. But he still exists by that after that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just fiddling around, making sure that this is kind of like doing what I want it to. But I think it's doing. I think it's good. It does exactly what we need it to do, which is to give the game a chance to display the result screen. Oh, that's an interesting, like, fan interpretation, Dark Moon. You know, that reminds me. I have a headcanon for what happened to Zero after X5. My headcanon is that Zero from X6 onwards is not the original Zero. He's like a copy. And like, that explains his awkward response to how he survived. Like, you know, I hid myself in order to repair myself. And my headcanon is that X knows that's bullshit, but he's just so happy that Zero's back and he doesn't want to believe that he's truly gone, so he just goes along with it. Whereas the Zero that died in X5, that's the one that we play as in Mega Man Zero. It's fun to have headcanons sometimes about things that like are not explained the best way in official canon. Must be a translation error, but the headcanon seems valid. Oh, thank you. Okay, so now that that's set up, I can start working on Starship Marine stuff. So I'm gonna probably draw the rest of the stream. Should be nice and chill. Oh, sweet. Okay, so where is it? Nice. We got snails. What's going on here? Why is it transparent all of a sudden? There we go. Yeah, I know, health sword. It happens on occasion when I need to, like, get my point across and I can't really think of another way to do it. Okay. You'll head out, see about the nature level tomorrow. I'm curious to see which nature level you pick, because there's a couple that I mentioned that I'm kind of struggling with, but... Yeah, keep it a surprise. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, yeah. You have ideas? Let's go! Yeah, see ya. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, wait, okay, so... The X6 Tweaks project retranslates the script? Oh yeah, it does! So they explain it by Zero having an auto-repair system, I see. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the same meaning. Okay. So, I did have an idea for an enemy type for the Aquamarine. Like some kind of walker, and it's kind of like the whole stage actually is kind of themed around root beer. So this would be like a root beer walker, and it would kind of like shoot bubbles upwards, or also maybe like have a cannon attached to it that shoots like downwards. And I was thinking that there'd be like two pilots like sitting on top of it, and that way the player doesn't get the impression that they can actually like walk on top of it. Yeah, it makes the same idea, but it makes more sense than I had myself in order to repair myself. Okay, so I do want to see if first of all, let's move this down here. Oh, that's right, Joru. He did mention that he had an auto repair function in X1. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how like Zero has a reputation for dying. Like even though he only like technically died like 3 times. Okay, so I guess this could be like this, and then we kind of like... we kind of give it some shading. And then, like, let's see, do I have a color I'm using for metal? I guess not. Yeah, let's just go like this. No, let's make it a bit bigger. And then I'll just use yellow for now, just so I can see it more easily. Just like kind of like a turret. Not sure if I like the way this looks yet. It's kind of goofy. But then again, maybe it should be, because these are like the Hosho pirates. They're not meant to be super intimidating. I feel like the reason Zero is the one who dies all the time is because he's not the main character. But then again, he is the main character in the Zero series, and it still happens. Yeah, so this kind of like rotates and then fires stuff. Maybe it could resemble like a blunderbuss. You know, like the one King K. Rool has. Also, this song slaps. Speed Jungle's such a good stage. That's probably one of my favorite, like, Sonic levels, like, period. Like, you can tell, like, Speed Jungle, like, from the promos and stuff, it was the stage they used to showcase the game. Oh, thank you for the warning, VST. I don't want to get leaked on Sonic 3 or the Knuckles TV series. So yeah, apparently the scripts did get leaked, so please keep an eye out for that if you want to refrain from spoiling either of them. Okay, I like that. Maybe it could be like a sound weapon, like a trumpet. Wonder if I could lean into that. Like, you know how trumpets kind of have that swirl? Like, I'm not familiar with those kinds of instruments, so... Da 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 ba 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 ba. Yeah, that's the thing with superstars, isn't it? Great levels, awful bosses. Which, it's kind of ironic that the fact that, like, speedrunners have figured out how, as Trip, to skip pretty much every boss fight in the game. Paige! Paige! They're both barking, so I think Mailman's here. Yeah, this is basically what I had in mind. Doing? I'm not sure. Let's see. I need to look up a reference. Like a tuba or a trombone or... Oh, I see. It's like... I'm way off. Has Spacey Bat ever heard of Sonic Omens? We don't talk about Sonic Omens. We do not. Your dog goes bark that way when the garbage truck picks up the garbage in front of the house? Oh, yeah. We have to drive our garbage, like, out somewhere outside the house. Yeah, I'm just gonna do normal turret. Oh, she's really... Paige! I wonder if it's the neighbors, because they do that too. Paige especially. Sammy gets the hint after a while and calms down, but it takes Paige forever unless I tell her to stop. Paige! Paige, come here. Paige, come. Paige. Paige. Well, she's not coming, but she's also not barking. Oh, maybe. No. She's like, mailman, where's my parcel? I think what also caused them to get wound up is that for a while we had a mailman that would give like milk bone treats along with our packages. So when we bring the package inside from the porch, and then we give the doggies the milk bones. So I guess now they figure that like any mailman has potential to give milk bones. But it's really sweet of them. Dun, 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 dun. I fucking love this stage. Alright, cool. You hope that kind mailman is doing good? I hope so too. It's been a while. But I think he must be like a seasonal mailman. So like he takes like a few months off and then comes back for like summer and fall. Okay. Oh, Saturn, hello. Hope you're doing well. Hi. Okay. That's probably fine. Alright, cool. I can also give the wires down here a different color. Maybe one that matches the wine bottle. Ah! Wrong layer. There you go. What? Still the wrong layer? Yeah, like this was my original draft of the Root Beer Walker. It had more of like a 3/4 perspective, but I think that would be more difficult to animate. So I went sideways. It is meant to be more of a platform than like a creature on its own, so it makes sense. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that should suffice. And I feel like I could give the legs a different color at some point. But I can give these legs a bit of shading. There we go. That's fine for now. So now, what I want to do is to add some pilots. I'm gonna see if I can draw that penguin mascot that Kyla has. Let's see, Kyla. Oh, okay. It's in my search history already. Oh, she's got two. One of them's a water gallon. What? Is that official? Ponder. Okay. Let me pull her color palette. Okay. Characters. Okay. So I'll use the same reds. Oh, Samuel has entered the room. So I want to do the handkerchief first. He is currently in the office bed. He has taken a seat in the office bed. Nice. Now he's licking his paws. Jimmy Manny! Hi! Hope you're doing well. Okay, from here, we got like... Yeah, the top of the head is pretty flat. Just basic penguin shape, I suppose. You can tell when something's penguin shaped. Yeah, I kind of like that, I guess. Maybe a little less pronounced down here. Oops. A bit longer. And I guess... Let's see. What do their eyes look like? Is it just like white dots? I think so. Yeah, I'll try. Okay, that doesn't leave a lot of room for the beak, so I need to move them apart a bit. Okay, there we go. Now I need yellow for the underside of the beak. Okay. So they have the white tummy. All hail Shadow, heroes rise again. Obliterating everything that's not your friend. They can stomp you down. No ghost can bring you down. There's nothing left to lose. You win. I guess that's fine. Kind of go down here too. And top part here's the yellow. Search for so long. Okay, also has a belt, a very snazzy looking belt. I think I could make it give it kind of like a 3D look. But I'll start with making it straight. But like I'll bend it upwards a little bit. Yeah. Nice. And then like a little belt buckle. Okay, he needs to be more rotund. Ah, Skippy McYay! Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome. Oh, what a happy little name. Skippy McYay. It's fun to say too. But hope you're doing well. Well, I'm doing drawing stuff. Okay, he needs to be more rotund. Less of an egg shape on the top. Doing pretty good. Always lovely to lurk here. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy that I can make the kind of streams that people can just put on in the background. Well. Okay, that is a sufficient amount of rotundness, in my opinion. Okay, I'll move the belt back over. Well, see you later, Haas. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And you too, Drive. Well, I'll stream for another hour or so. And then I'll feed the puppies and myself. Okay, also needs arms. But that's the tricky part, like drawing arms on like a very dark color palette. But I suppose this penguin is a bit more grayish. But what we could do is just like make the outlines lighter in color. Like that. I'm fascinated by the rotundness of this creature. Okay, now I'm getting a clearer view of the eyes. I think they are kind of like vertical. Like that. Nice. Chonk, yeah. Okay, so I think he should turn a little bit more. There we go. That will add to the sense of 3D depth, the rotundness, if you will. Very creature. I don't think Kyla would be too hung up on some of these guys joining the pirates. But I'll have to confer with our writers to make sure. I could give one of them an eye patch. I could give an eye patch just to kind of differentiate. Let me pull up a reference of Zunusagi from the Keg Cannon. Where'd you go? Here we go. Okay. Eye patch. Yar. Penguin is chonk. A heckin' chonker. Okay, let's see if that works. That could. It could. Oh, Paige. Why you do this? Why you do this? Why you do this? I should probably give him a different color eye patch. Maybe like a gold one. And then like darken this a bit. I suppose that works. Paige! Paige, honey. Little Barky. Okay, that works. I'm gonna make the top part a bit wider. She's struggling really hard. Paige! You can do it, Paige. It's okay, you don't have to bark. Aw, Archangel. My doggo is making yours put his head up cutely. Nice. Yeah, that bark chains are quite a thing when they happen. One dog in the neighborhood will start barking their head off, and then like sooner than later, the rest of them do. Being watched by a cat. Nice. Okay, I think that's a good enough starting point. Yeah, so I could either have them just like stand directly on top like this, or I could imply that there's like space underneath. Like this. And then I could have like two of them. And like maybe one steers and the other kind of like throws like bombs or something. Of course, they don't match the perspective of the walker, so I might have to draw them facing like completely to the side, or at least one of them. That's something I can try. Okay. So what I would do is I would move this beak all the way to the side. And since this eye has the eye patch, we just kind of do that. Like that. I'm not sure if my playlist is shuffling correctly. Not that I mind. 2 Wahoos in one stream is quite nice. Yeah, that's technically more correct, but also you can't really see the face anymore. I'll have to experiment. Well, could move them just a little bit. Close enough. Nice. Okay, so I feel like I have enough to kind of like start with like animations for now, and then I can figure out what I'm going to do with the projectiles later on. So from this point, we are going to transfer this over to a different file. Let me just check the canvas size. Okay, 200. But I'll do 256 just so I have room to like split everything up. There we go. Okay, we'll move you up here. And we can start, like, merging everything into one layer as well. Okay, this goes down here for now. Move this over here. Okay, copy this, paste it in here. Okay, one layer. So now we just kind of split these up. Nice. Yeah, when I first started this project, I started with the individual parts first, but when I did that, I really struggled to, like, imagine the design in my head. Like, it's much more effective, personally, for me, to draw, like, to draw larger enemies, like, on their own as a single sprite, and then I divide them into parts once I'm happy with how they look. So I feel like these legs are basically the same. I will keep this up here as a reference. But I could just, like, split only this one, and then just, like, duplicate it for the back leg while darkening it. So in that case, this goes here. And I feel like I could make this straight on. Just making sure that it's long enough. And then I just draw this here. Nice. And that should be fine for that leg. And then we take this axle here. separate it. Notice that the width doesn't quite line up. Might have to move this one over. Yeah, okay. Well. Sweet. So from here, we move this over here. This becomes the upper leg. And I feel like I should split this off into its own thing so that the rotation can remain upright no matter what rotation the leg itself is in. And there we go. That's the leg divided up, and I feel like that's where the majority of the animation is going to be focused on. Let's move this down here since that's where it's supposed to be located. Move these guys down here, and that should be good. I'm going to save the sprite sheet now. Nice. Alright, back to Godot we go. So I'm going to create a new scene. And I'm going to use character body 2D as a base. And I'll just use a standard collision shape for now. So now we're gonna start like throwing the parts in and then snapping them together. To do that, I'll do a sprite 2D and then I will make it an atlas texture. We're gonna load the image that we just made as an atlas. There we go. So we'll start with the body. And okay, we want it to be an even number so that we don't get weird like pixel artifacting, given the game's small resolution. Nice. And I could set the offset manually. That's probably fine. Okay, we'll call that body. Actually, I should add a root node. Also put some lip balm on. So the air's dry. There we go. So from here, I think we could start with the... Let's start with the front leg. Now make sure when you're copying a sprite with an atlas texture, you right-click the texture and select Make Unique. Otherwise, the changes to this one will be applied to the first one. Oh right, I need to do the turret as well. Okay, that's fine. Setting an offset right here. Body turret. Okay, so front leg. Make unique. Okay, where'd she go? So we don't need an offset for this one. Okay, let me double check, make sure. I've got this lined up correctly. Okay, it's right in the corner right here. I think that's supposed to be where it's supposed to be. Okay, front leg. Okay. I guess the thigh is what it's called. Let's move this over here. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Nice. Okay, that works. Front thigh, and then front knee. Okay. So for this one, we do not want it to be behind the parent. Okay, let's move it over here. Is that how it was? I think... No, it was a little bit more to the right. And a little bit more up. Like that. Okay, cool. And now... Fred, I don't know, lower leg. Just to make it more clear. And this one is going to be behind. Make unique. Okay, cool. So we change the offset of this one. Okay, so this one has a default rotation. What do I need to rotate it to? I think it's 24 degrees. Almost 26. I think it's 26 and a half. There we go. Front lower leg. Now we do the front hoof. Make this unique in front. Get rid of the rotation, I think. Oh no, I'll adjust that later. Let's see. Cool. So with the rotation here, negative 26.5. I think. No, positive. Because I want it to be like dead center from the actual leg part, and then we will offset it just enough that it makes sense. Cool. Nice. So that's one leg down. The back leg won't be as involved of a process, because all we're doing is we're duplicating the front leg, renaming the parts, and then changing their color. Back. 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 Nice. So now we want to rotate this in a different direction. Oh, right, I should offset the position a little bit. There we go. Oh, that part actually does not need to change rotation. We want this one too. So let's do 90 degrees. Is it 90 degrees? No, I think it's 45. Let's see. -60. Yeah, -60 seems more accurate. Let's move this right here. So I think 72.5, maybe? Question mark? $71.5? Yeah. But it doesn't quite match up with the ground, so I might need to play around with it. That's a tricky thing about mech designs. There we go, that's closer. Good enough. So from here, I should save before I lose my work. Scenes, enemies. Right, I have saved. So from here, we'll do an animation. Okay. So for the animation, all we're doing is we're like swapping the rotations of them, I suppose. Maybe. Okay. Well, now we need to capture the rotations of everything that we want to rotate. Starting with the front leg, I suppose. Thankfully, it's all dealing with rotations. Maybe the position of the root node as well. And if we wanted to fudge the position a little bit, we could do that too. Just for the sake of making sure that the hooves line up with the ground. Lower leg. Come on. Okay. And then make this the position offset. I'm gonna change this to a list view so we can actually like see all of the nodes at once. All of the animation properties. Alright, so we'll start with the end point of like when it takes one step. And that will be considered like one of our keyframes. So one thing I could do is I could make it so like I don't touch where the animation timeline. I will just adjust the legs here and then copy and paste the rotation values. Well, something else I could do is I could make a note of the rotation values, like right here. I could just like page. I could duplicate everything. and then just kind of like swap them. So that's front upper, back upper goes 0. Okay, so it's 0, 0, negative 26.5. They are barking up a storm today. I wonder if that's the mailman. Barky, barky. Yeah, sound off, queen. Paige! Barky, barky. Okay, negative 50, 50. Oh my gosh, she's so wound up today. Negative 71.5. Paige! Paige, come! You wanna say hi to chat? Paige! 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 Come on! Let me take Sippy. Okay, they're both here now. Hi, Paige. What are you wound up over? Yeah, okay, she's got her paws on my computer chair now. She's kind of peering over the desk at the monitor screen. Hi. It's okay, you don't gotta bark. You're no barky. No bark. No barky. Okay? No bark. Oh, you wanna jump up here? You wanna jump? Come on. Come on. Okay, she's in the office bed now. Yeah, I've kind of learned some techniques from Mama Spacey to gotta get her attention a bit better. Paige? Just kind of learning how to like add like force to my voice, I guess. Okay. So this is kind of the motion I want, but you notice how the hooves sink in the ground a little bit. So that's why we can adjust the position of the root node to offset that. Well, okay. That's about where I want to be. Let's move up 4 pixels. Okay. So we can kind of like shuffle back to the previous position. But one thing we want to do is that for the leg that's moving forward, we want to raise it in the air a little bit to kind of help sell the motion. Actually, I don't have to do that if I'm looping. I forgot. Okay. More. So right here, we want to take the front leg. Okay, where am I going with this? Like right here? Front knee. Actually, lower leg, I think, is what I need. Yeah, something like negative 90 degrees. And we'll do the same thing for the back lower leg. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Okay, so I want the hoof to kind of stay in the same rotation throughout. Paige. No bark. Yeah, doggy's so cute. I just get nervous sometimes if she gets too wound up, because during the last 4th of July, there was like a huge cookout at the neighbor's place, and there were like a bunch of doggies over there, and like she was like constantly barking her head off and running all over the place, and eventually she got a seizure from it. So that was kind of scary. I've never experienced that before with one of my dogs. But thankfully she was fine. She just needed like an hour to rest. Yeah, this is a pretty good motion. I think it'll do what we need it to do. Like, the enemy doesn't really need to move that quickly. But if I wanted to exaggerate it even more, I could, let's see. Ah, Palladium, hi! Hope you're doing well. Did you miss anything? You missed quite a bit, actually. But right now I'm just kind of chilling out with some animation work. But I, like, at certain parts of the stream, I was able to show off the finished first space level, Galaxy Gourmet. I'm quite proud of the work that the team has done, and I will continue to work my hardest to make good pace. So here, I think I could exaggerate the motion a bit more to make it feel a bit more threatening, I suppose. So let's try, okay, rotation 35 for the upper leg. And then the lower leg. We could kind of keep that the same, I guess. Ba 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 ba. Okay, let's try negative 60 for the lower leg. Ah! 26, 24 degrees? 25 degrees? Yeah, 25 degrees. Whoops. Okay, 25. Yeah, I gotta make it more bouncy. Oh, so Joru asks, random question, does this VTuber model come with other outfits? Technically, yes. My default outfit has all of my layers on at once. So this is my default look, along with my ponytail and stuff. This is how I look as normal Spacey Bottotelli. For my dev streams, I'll wear my hair short in a bob cut with the glasses. I can also remove the coat. I can also remove the white dress for, you know, a simple look, and this is as far as it goes. Well, yeah, those are my alternate outfits, I suppose. It's some nice, I think it's a nice variety. But since I do a lot of flying, and like in the air it gets quite cold where I am, so I gotta bundle up when I'm flying around. You can kind of see my full wingspan and without my coat as well. The black is very fetching, thank you. I wanna get more outfits in the future, but my Rig Papa KVX art is super busy, so I'm not sure if it's gonna happen for a while. But it is a goal. Yeah, there's alternate hairstyles too. I like the ponytail a lot. I also like the bob cut with the glasses, and I can wear my hair long as well. Yeah, like, when I commissioned my art mama for alternate hairstyles, I only commissioned the long hair, actually. The bob cut was kind of a trick that Papa Kevin did. It's so cool how we were able to repurpose, like, the long hair style as a bob cut. What outfits would I like to have? I have a swimsuit outfit ready to rig. I'm just waiting for Papa Kevin to be ready to rig it. I also want to work on, like, an F-Zero type racing outfit. Like some kind of like astral sci-fi fantasy outfit would be really cool. Yeah, long hair. Okay, let's see. So this was 35, 0, 60, 25. So 35, 0, 60. Well, okay. 35, 0, 60, 25. I messed something up. I think. Yes, I did. Negative 60. It was supposed to be negative, not positive. There we go. Alright, so now... Yeah, a Metroid spacesuit, like a Metroid-esque spacesuit. It has to be legally distinct, of course, but... Yeah. That'd be so cool. I think maybe this is a bit too much given the size of the limb. So, I'm gonna go... I'm gonna go like 25 degrees maybe? No. Still not enough. Let's do 15. So we do 15. 40? Yeah, 15, 40. Okay. So I think this is more workable for the other set of legs. So we're going to the back leg. And I think we can just do negative 90. Maybe. Okay, a bit lower than that. Negative 80. Not enough. Yeah, we can do animation in Godot too. It's really cool. It's built with, for a while, I get the feeling it's built primarily with 3D in mind, but you can do it for 2D stuff too. And you can set any parameter to be a keyframe, which I quite enjoy. Makes things easier. So I think for this, what I could do is, 40. Negative 40. Negative 90 again? Almost. Let's try 95. Yeah, that's close enough. So it's negative 40, 50, negative 95, and then 85. Okay. Negative 40, 50, negative 95, 85. Cool. Cool. So now I kind of want to push the mech upwards more. So from here, we're gonna adjust this keyframe once again. We'll need to adjust the back knee actually. So back upper leg. Let's rotate that this way. So let's do negative 35. Negative 35 again. And then 45. Okay. So starting from the knee. Oh, I see what's going on. Why is it like... it's probably fine. Okay, negative 35 for both. And then 45 is down here. Okay, cool. So let's tweak these. Yeah, it's all about memorizing them numbers. Okay. So now we push this upwards until it matches. So we'll move the root position. Negative 22 is probably fine. Something like that. Maybe that's a bit too exaggerated. So I'm gonna try moving this down a bit. Let's move it down by 15 degrees. So from here, let's do negative 25 for the lower leg. Is that correct? I don't think so. The reason you said more bouncy is making it feel like a mechanical thing that is moving unsteadily due to trying to walk as well as fighting gravity. Oh, yeah, I get you. I do like the bounciness, I just want it to be like... I just want, like, the main body to move less. Okay, front hoof. 25. Oh, okay. That was supposed to be positive. Negative 25. Ah, I see. Okay. Front upper, back upper, okay. Okay, so the back knee here. Negative 40. 40. Okay, let's do 40 here. Negative 60. That's too much. Let's do negative 70. Close, close. $68. Yeah, 68's fine. So negative 68, 68. Do the same thing here. Okay. Okay. So now I'm just going to move the root back down. Yeah, -10 should be fine. That's more reasonable. I gotta fix the rotation on the hooves in the middle animation though. I think it's just the lower leg needs to be rotated a bit more. So -32. 47. Yeah, 32, 47. Nice. Okay, let's try flipping our canvas, so to speak. Yeah, that works. I kind of like how the turret kind of looks like a duckbill, you know, like no. Because given that like penguins are the pilots. Strawberry, hi. Hope you're doing well. Okay. I must do shout out. Strawberry is a very lovely artist who specializes in chibi artwork and model rigging, of course. Ah. So feel free to give her a follow and check out her streams if you like artistic streams. Okay, so I feel like this needs to be closer to center. So in that case, wait, does it need to be? I feel like it's pretty close in terms of like the actual track platforming part. Well, okay. Yeah, it's probably fine, but I do want to nudge it over a little bit. So in that case, actually, is this centered? No, it's not. So let me bring it over by 8. Well, okay. Okay, that should feel a little bit better when flipping. Because you can, generally when it comes to 2D games, you can generally get away with just like straight up flipping sprites, even like large bosses like this. It's less of, it looks like more noticeable in 3D. Like in 3D, you generally want like turnaround motions, and I do have turnaround motions with the keg cannons, but I feel like that's going to be pretty tricky to pull off with this kind of robot. So I think if anything, the nature of its attack cycle, I don't even think it needs to turn around. It could just walk backwards. Because like, if the player is like behind it, it could just like rotate the turret towards them and then fire. But yeah, we've got a walker. So now we just need the pilots. Oh, also one other thing I want to do. For the back leg, I want to adjust the modulate feature, which you can set a color and it applies that color to every single child node. So you see, like it's becoming darker like that. Well, I want more of like a bluish purple a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Something like that, just to kind of differentiate the front leg from the back leg more. I also want to add more shading to the like the black leg parts to further like make the anatomy more clear. on a stream you were watching earlier, you were talking about how sometimes that doesn't work. For example, if the character has an eye patch, it's funny you should mention that. I want to show you something. I'm gonna save this fellow. So enemies. Where's the keg cannon? Okay. So this is the turret enemy and the battleship stage. So I actually have a bespoke set of left-facing sprites for the Nusagi, specifically to account for the eye patch. So you can kind of see here. I'm gonna press play. Yeah, its eye patch stays on the same side. Yeah. It just looked weird to me otherwise. There are some characters where I kind of do that as well. I give them bespoke left-facing sprites. Actually, I think the only character I do that with is Iris, because the asymmetry in her wing colors is such an iconic part of her design that it just felt so weird if I just like flipped the sprites normally. I feel like Bae has that problem too, but like her design, like I'll show you. Actually, I'll show Iris first. NPC Iris. So here's Iris. But yeah, she's got like half like on the right side she has white wings, and the other side she has black wings. But you can see down here I have like two versions of every single animation of her. One for when she's facing right, and one for when she's facing left. See, in game this will be flipped. So all I did was like change like the colors of the wings and the eyes. I felt like she deserved that kind of TLC. I do want to do that for Bae someday too, because as you can see, her sprite is very asymmetric. But like her sprite flipping would be way more involved, because not only do they have different colors, but they also have different designs on each side, like in her pigtails and like this right leg sleeve is poofier and this one's a bit thinner. So that's gonna be quite involved, but I would like to do the same thing with her eventually. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share. But yeah, cool. I'm pretty happy with this. Nice. And I feel like maybe I would want to have like the legs, like the bottom part of the hooves sink into the ground just a little bit, so that the player never sees like visible air underneath the hooves. Just so I don't have to be like 100% accurate with where they're positioned. And maybe it involves making a base that doesn't have all the asymmetrical details. Yeah, that's true, Lancelot. It depends on the style of sprites that you're using. I feel like in our case, it's just like more, it's just like easier to get a hold of just by redrawing like all of her left-facing sprites. Okay, so now I want to add to the body, I want to add, Mode 2, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so to the body, I want to add, some penguins. I wonder if they have an actual name, or if they're just penguins. I'll just call them Penguin. Or like, wait, I'll call them Pilot. So, make unique. So we'll just add a couple of dudes, couple of rotund creatures. There we go. Pilot 1. And let's add a second pilot. There we go. Oh, shoot, I did the thing. Let's make unique. Let's just push you back here. I'm pretty sure they're called, Pomelos? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. I might want to rotate this one a little bit more. And maybe, like, put his eye patch on the other side so that we can see his eye. Yeah, let me do that real quick. Where'd you go? I'm in my drawing program right now. Da 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 da. There we go. Creature. Yeah, this is kind of like why you'd want like your character sprites to kind of face towards the camera, but also a bit to the side, so that you can see more of their details, even if it's not like technically correct. But yeah, I dig it. So now I can see them walking with the walker. Yeah. And if we wanted to, we could make the turret rotate to face the player. Pew 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 pew. Nice. I think that's a good start for this enemy type. Like, I'll have to spend a lot of time like working on its script, and I think it could use like a fancy death animation as well. But eventually it will be put in this level along with these dudes. And I still really like the background for this stage. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm gonna wrap up for today. Thank you so much for the nice and chill stream, and I'm glad I got to show off some of our new stages in the space world. I can't wait to make more progress over the weekend. So, next week, I don't usually stream on Mondays, but this Monday is particularly special. Oh, Lancelot, really? Let's go! Today is Usada Pecora's birthday. She is another member of Hololive, the bunny one. And last year, she got like an award for being like the most like viewed female streamer on any platform. That's really cool. So congratulations to Pecora and happy birthday. Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to work on her part in the game. She doesn't appear until the World of Nature, which, after you complete World of Time, you have a choice between tackling space or nature next. But yeah, thank you everybody. So next week, I don't usually stream Mondays, but I will next week because next week on Monday is my 1 year anniversary streaming as a VTuber. I can't believe it's been a year already. It's been amazing. So we're gonna chill and watch some videos that day, and we're gonna like kind of like reminisce and see some of like our best clips together. And then I will probably take a break for a few days, and then I'll be back on Friday next week to stream with my friend Ashley. And it's gonna be like an Ashley's Arcade thing, where basically we're gonna play a bunch of arcade games, and I'm not gonna get any context for them. Like, Ashley's just gonna boot them up, and then I'm gonna have to, like, just do my best to adapt. I think it's gonna be really fun. But I'll have more details on that next week sometime. Thanks for the stream. No problem. So, let's see if there's somebody we can raid. Let's see. Let's see, Diki64 is playing Ocarina of Time. Mango is just chatting. A few other people I see. Okay, the question is Diki streaming? Yeah, his viewers are mostly German right now. German language. No, wait, there's a few English people. Thanks, everybody. Is someone playing FP2? Someone is, but I've already raided them recently, so I wanna space it out. But yeah, let's raid Mango. Well. Awesome, and our raid message? Yeah, it's burb time. Mango is a very sweet and wholesome bird VTuber. You want to spacey out? I see what you did there. Oh my gosh, there's so many people watching today. Thank you all so much. Like, I feel like these kinds of streams are my wheelhouse. Like, and even though there are long periods where like I'm just like focusing on work, it makes me happy to know that it's something that y'all are interested in watching and like leaving on in the background. So thank you all so much. And I will be back next week, and we'll have a lot to celebrate, so I can't wait, and I hope you'll join me. But either way, I hope you have the best of weekends. And, yeah, get yourself some good rest, and I'll see you all soon. That's a wrap. Bye.